Hello and welcome everyone to our Fierce Friday Million Mom Movement Zoom. Very excited to share this with you today. My name is Carmela Velarde. I'm a Blue Diamond with the company Purium. And today we get to continue a very potent and important conversation that we had started last week. And I would love to just get right into it. For those of you who are new to this Zoom, we host this every single week. For 1 hour, we gather, and we are 1,000 moms or caregivers. We're a movement of many, and including dads. I hope the dads do come on too, because everyone is important who cares about the future. But we are 1,000 people in 100 communities committing to spread health and well-being and economic opportunity around the superfood nutrition movement with at least 10 people that we can impact and share our lives, our story, our lifestyle. So we love to share that we are a movement, so we're organizing, right, with intention. And today we get to share a little bit about who we are as the Million Mom Movement with you. We have a special guest who is our founder and his partner going to share today. And I'd love to pass the mic over after I share with it just a quick second about what it means to me. I've led with the Million Mom Movement since I started my business 6 years ago. And I'm a mom in a mission. I've had leaky gut since I was a child, and I'd looked for a comprehensive nutrition program like Purium, and there was nothing on the market. I owned a wellness center in Manhattan for 7 years with my mother and suffered. And really, until I had found this lifestyle, had I been able to transform my health. And I was able to really have my husband stay home now with the income that I've generated from my Purium business. So he is a stay-at-home dad, and we get to do this business with our kids homeschooling. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm really excited to be a part of this growing, impactful community that educates. So I would love to share about our pledge so that you understand more about what we all stand for. And I'm going to pass it over to one of my council members. She's in Montreal, Quebec, and her name is Taz Ferreira. She was a former scientist and now a green diamond with the business.
Thank you so much, Carmela. I love how you say my last name. Thank you. So I will be reading the pledge, and this is something that is near and dear to all of our hearts, and really how we live our life. This is how we live our daily life. So I pledge to defend the health of my family and of myself. I pledge to reject GMOs, artificial ingredients, trans fats, and over-processed foods. I pledge to educate myself, read labels, and lead by example. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health of our future generation. I am committed to sharing this mission until we are a million mom strong, or many mom movement. What was it, Carmela?
It was a movement of many.
Movement of many, because this is for everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna send, now it's on to Naiva, who will be talking about our petition. Thank you.
Hey, aloha everyone. Thank you so much, Taz, for reading the pledge. My name's Naiva Flory. It's my honor to be here with you all. And as many of you know, we started a writer letting campaign back in January, and we realized that as super busy moms, it can be another thing on our list of things to do that just doesn't get done. And so we switched over, we pivoted and started a petition a few months back. And so we're really excited. We are, I think, 2/3 of the way to our 1,000 mark. So we'd love to encourage you all to participate in that, share that petition, talk about it. You know, each and every one of you here is part of the Million Mom Movement. So we recently started a new hashtag. For those of you who aren't aware of our hashtags, we had We Are the Million Mom Movement hashtag that I often repost from on our social medias. And then we started a new hashtag, We Are the Million Mom Movement, because we're all part of this. And then we actually recently started a new one where we'd like you to share about I Am the Million Mom Movement. What does the Million Mom Movement mean to you? And so we want to encourage you to lean on the Million Mom movement, share what this mission is doing, share what our community is doing, and also share this petition with the people that are around you that, you know, care about the quality of our food and what's going into our bodies and our children's bodies. So thank you so much. I'll drop the link in the comments here in a minute, and I'll pass it back to you, Carmela.
So I am very, very excited to bring on our chair of the Million Mom Movement. She is a Blue Diamond with our company, and she's been my mentor in this movement since I began in January. And she's a lovely mentor to all of us here. And her name is Stephanie Dawn, and she's going to be opening the mic over to our formulator and founder, as well as his partner, and we'll have a wonderful discussion about the autism and the economy.
Thank you so much, Carmela, and the entire council. Thank you for being here. I'm really excited to be welcoming Annie Ybarra and Dave Sandoval and little baby Cornelia to Fierce Friday today. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it felt like the right time after our really powerful, pivotal presentation last week by Dr. Toby. If you weren't here, I want to encourage you to go back and watch that Zoom. It was a game changer for me. You know, I knew a lot about what he was sharing about, but there was a way in which he was presenting that kind of took it to a new level for me. Maybe because now I'm the chair and we have this incredible platform to be elevating voices. And Dr. Toby's is a voice that I want to elevate within the Million Mom movement and with Imperium. So before I welcome you on, Dave and Annie, I want to read a few statistics that Toby shared last week to give our meeting today some context, okay? So his presentation last week was called Autism, Vaccines, and Coronavirus, Essential Data Making Informed Decisions. And Dr. Toby, just so that you know, he has a PhD in political economy, because I was really curious, like, what is he a doctor of? Here's some of the statistics that he shared. In the UK, autism is the most costly medical condition there, costing more than heart disease, cancer, and stroke combined. It costs the country $32 billion per year. In the US, the cost to us is $268 billion in 2015. If this continues at this rate, autism will cost the US over $1 trillion per year by 2025. So those are enormous statistics. And he went on to share far more, and I'm not going to quote anymore. I want the entire field and everyone who cares about this issue to go back and watch last week's hour-long Zoom. And if one of my council members could put that in the chat, I'd really appreciate it. I felt that it was appropriate to bring on Dave and Annie, who a couple years ago created the Awaken Foundation. And Annie has been working in the autism field for, I think, over a decade. I'll let her share more about that. But this has been her life's mission for a very long time. And when Dave and Annie met, the Awaken Foundation was born. And what they've been doing pre-corona is bringing families to the beautiful land of the Native Springs Oasis, where we've had many amazing unconventions there for our company. And Dave, you've just been so generous in terms of opening up your land to all of us and to these beautiful families who oftentimes cannot get away as a family to recreate, to vacation, to enjoy each other's, to enjoy being in nature. And so I just feel so blessed to have you both here with us today. And I just want to open up the forum for you to share your reflections on, I know you were both with us last week. I'd love to hear your thoughts about that presentation. And then we can segue into, how Awaken was created and where you're headed.
Hi, thank you so much for having us, Stephanie, and the Million Mom Movement. part of me, Dave had to step away for a minute. We're here with our baby. And so she was needing a little bit of attention. But we're so grateful to be here. And yes, our dear friend Tirza, Dave, and I started the Awaken Project together 2 years ago. And, you know, the way it all came together was Tirza and I met and we were working together. I was working as a nanny for her son and daughter for their family. And we really, really envisioned and saw a space of just pure love and acceptance and welcoming and being able to see our people with autism just for who their spirits are. And we really dreamed on that vision together when we started working. I started working as a behavioral therapist for children with autism in their homes. And once I started working in the professional world and seeing many, many, many different homes, I had 4 to 5 clients a day. It really became so clear how it really wasn't just the child in the family that was really needing some help and some healing and support. We found that the parents were really, really, really being so isolated and so unsupported and not being given enough information or opportunity to really push their kids forward to a place of the potential that they could reach. And it wasn't the parents' fault, it was the lack of resources, it was the lack of support, it was the lack of help. So Tirza and I then began dreaming up having retreats for families where families could come and get a piece of peace and catch some fresh air, catch a little bit of a break, have a vacation, which most families with autism, I confidently say, hardly even dream of these days. And we wanted to give a place where the kids could have a place of finding healing with different therapies and have a fun camp experience with people that just totally loved and cared for them and had no judgments or nothing but acceptance and love. And we also wanted to create a space where our parents could finally take a deep breath. So we wanted to create a spa-like retreat getaway where parents could know that their kids were taken care of in pure love and they were safe and they could actually take care of themselves for once, because we all know you cannot pour from an empty cup. So what's going on here? Then the biggest key part of our puzzle came together when I met Dave, and we were able to incorporate the healing part of nutrition combined with the healing of the mind and the heart and the spirit. So when we can bring a holistic thing like this together is where we believe you can really find the magic. And we put on 5 retreats here at the Oasis that we're really, really proud and feel very blessed to have the opportunity to have put on. And currently in our new COVID world, we are working to start supporting our families virtually. So we don't have everything quite worked out yet, but we are going towards a direction of having online support groups for families, online resources for families, online nutrition help for families. And we are really confident that we're going to be able to start putting on retreats again. Yes, we're navigating the, kind of turning ways, but we feel that we're going to be able to put on a single family retreat and start supporting families again. COVID world is a hard world for all of us, but it is extremely difficult for families with autism. And hopefully you're listening. You guys need us now more than ever, we feel. So we really want to be here for you. And we really are wanting to get our bodies back in the saddle with putting on these retreats and being there for you guys.
Wonderful, Annie. So wonderful. So I'm curious, you were here last week when Dr. Toby shared all that he shared about the just horrendous statistics, really. I mean, it's jaw-dropping when I was very much taken aback. I'm curious to know, what your thoughts were. Did he share anything that was new with you, Annie? and or Dave. And hey, Cornelia, look at her little top knot. Who's an angel?
Hey, hi, Lila.
Aw, Dave, welcome, Dave.
Yes, the statistics were heartbreaking and jaw-dropping. And one of the bigger ones that stood out to me was not just the effect of vaccines that are having largely on our children, but the effect that autism is having financially on mothers specifically, and on our families. And we think, that as I was talking about, autism affects the family in a holistic way. It's not just one child. I believe that what's going on with our parents affects our very energetically sensitive, spiritual autism beings. And so if parents are stressed under massive, massive financial hardship and stress and strain, you better believe those kids are inevitably taking it on. No fault to the parents, but they take on energy, and you can't hide that kind of debt. That kind of stress is not okay on any person. And so we really want to talk about a little bit how we're wanting to also help in that realm with families. Hi. How we can help, maybe make some of a difference in that financial hardship.
Mm-hmm. So has the mission of your foundation changed at all with over the months or since COVID? Can you speak to that at all?
Yes. Do you want to speak at all, or I can take
Well, I don't think that COVID was the only factor. I think that the hundreds of calls that we got. Go ahead.
Yeah, COVID, it's hearing the state of families are where they're in, and the desperation of where families are in it's
Overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. It's almost paralyzing. But we aren't going to let that happen. We know what our purpose is here, and it's really lit a fire for us of what the need is here.
So it wasn't just COVID, it was also the fact that the overwhelming need for this type of support, and we could never reach enough people having 2 or 3 families at a retreat 5 times a year. Even those 15 families, massive impact, just seemed like a tiny drop in a growing bucket, And so regardless of COVID, we would have had to evolve to this online version. And what we're learning now about stem cells, what we're learning now about, gut health, what we're learning now about real causative factors like vaccines, we believe that, I just want to say before I throw it back to Annie, is that holistic healing is hard to understand for the following reason. Imagine if you have a big round ball and you try to balance it on your fingertip, okay? Perfectly balanced. That's what medicine tries to do. It tries to take one point and solve the whole problem. But if you had 30, 40 points holding up that ball, you couldn't just hold it up, you could spin it and twist it and bounce it. And so holistic medicine is 100 points of light. It's not a single thing. And it's going to take 100 points of light to help these children to integrate. There's nothing wrong, by the way, with these people. They just need to integrate into our society. And the difficulty of that is something we need to bridge.
Yes. And so lighting the fire of would really help online, because we might have taken a slower point into doing that and continued with our retreats focus a little bit more, whereas now we're really, really focusing on how we can help in the masses, and really wanting to teach families how they can do these types of things in their home, how they can change their nutrition in their home, what therapies they can do in their home, and give them the resources of people that are nearby, creating online support groups. It's really, 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 really difficult that these families are now more isolated than they've ever been. That children who really rely on a schedule, on a routine, on their support systems are now totally just gone, obliterated. So we want to help people doing, personal consultations and things, and being able to help on Zooms, helping parents with what they can do with their schedules, their eating, all of it. And put together online support groups for the parents as well. And, just find how we can bring this community more together and more supported.
And I remember the first time I went to a support group, I was like, oh, this is BS, right? Then I went in and I said, wow, all these people are like me. I'm not alone. Other people feel this way. Other people go through this. And somehow it just made me feel less. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, we need our parents to know that you guys are the real superheroes. And it's hard to feel like a superhero when you're just put in a corner in the dark. So if we can, bring people together and shine the light on their magic and their magnificence and really bring a communal hope together. I feel like as a society, we're quickly losing hope, all of us. And I think it's even even more quickly draining, even more quickly draining for our families on the spectrum. And I really want to shift that. We really want to shift that. The hope, the possibilities are all still here. And we want to shine the light on that. And yeah.
So Annie, with the COVID times and not being able to do the retreats, so your work has switched to the online forums. Is that what I'm hearing? Your way of support, that's what you've been doing?
That's what we're preparing for. Honestly, with COVID and our lack of funding due to COVID, therefore no staff, and we really haven't had the means to be running the Awaken Project in the way that we want. So we have been able to find a way out to do that, though. We've received our funding. We're gaining more staff. We're also gaining more space as our founders to start putting more things on. So we have had a little bit of a halt in the Awaken Project since COVID, but we've finally got our heads above water and we're ready to rock things again. And now we can help pull everybody else out of water, we hope.
Great. So one of the major takeaways from last week's presentation was the urgent need to detox our children. That just really landed for me. And it landed for me as someone who's working Purium every single day. And it certainly landed for me as a chair of the Million Mom Movement. So, and it also made me want to support you way more as an organization. Really, we have this amazing council of 6 women. We have Amy coming back in next week, November. We're weaving Amy back in. We need her really bad. So she's had her hands full. And so there is this wellspring of energy that's starting, a reconnection happening. And there's so many people here that I think are probably going to want to help you and support the Million Mom Movement as we lock arms a bit more tightly here. So I want to, I'd like to hear about what is your trajectory going into 2021 in terms of the retreats and online support, and now that you've got your funding, and how can people help that are listening to this right now?
So, well, thank you. Now, Annie and I, we trade off. Obviously, we have the baby, so we're either going to hear all 3 of us or none of us. I mean, we're going to hear one of us. So yeah, the thing is, we have gotten some funding from, Purium, honestly, because usually we get our funding from me hosting events at the Oasis, whether it be Unconvention or music festivals or family reunions or whatever it might be. That money feeds Awaken, and without those proceeds, we're at a standstill. And so we're still seeking, new sources of support, but we're going to start with what we have. And so, so if you go to, the Awaken Project retreats, .org, and sometimes people forget the word retreats, but the Awaken Project retreats.org, and someone could maybe put that link in the column for us there. You could see that, you know, we have the ability to make donations there, and we have some little rewards for people who want them, you know, that they could get, you know, a little gift from us in exchange for what they might do. But really what I think is going to be powerful is connecting people. Like when Purium, I wanted, and Amy and I wanted to do the Million Mom movement, but we're only 2 people. But so when you and when Naiva and when Carmela and when all these other angels stepped in and said, we're in alignment with you, we're going to carry this forward. Okay. They really only needed to see that alignment and to coalesce around it. And we're hoping to do the same thing with the Million Mom movement, because we won't be able to be there every minute. But when we create these forums of information and people could discuss what's worked for them and what hasn't worked, and you know, what their frustrations are and how they deal with those frustrations. So we could have an online meditation course even. You understand, we're going to be there in so many different ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually, but mostly as a community, letting people know they're never alone. You know, they're never alone. And as a person of faith, I know I'm never alone, you know, but sometimes when it's really, really dark, you know, God could feel far away, and we need another human being. We need another human being to be there. You know what I mean? Yes. To tell us that we're not alone. And so I just want to say that I'm so proud of Tirza and my beloved Annie. I am so proud of them for holding this vision. You know, it's just like Purium. I've seen people that join Purium and they don't explode right away. They don't even succeed right away. They might not even get a gift card redeemed for a long time, but they hold that vision because they're in alignment. Okay. Well, Annie and Tirza held that vision, and it manifested into 5 amazing retreats, each one better than the last, each one having a greater impact than the last. But it brought us to this point to where, oh my God, we need to have 100 retreats a week with 100 people in them. Yeah. And that's not possible. But if we could reach 1 million people the way the Million Mom movement has through a community, then again, a similar healing could take place, if not the exact healing. And we might inspire others to do what we're doing. But live retreats will return. We will be here again. And I'm going to turn it back over to my beloved.
Sweet. Thank you, Dave.
Well, he said it very well.
We all relate to what you're going through right now completely. And I'm just grateful that you're here with us, and that she's here with us. She's such an angel.
Yes, she is. Yes, but we are really looking forward to going online and starting our live retreats. And yes.
Great. So will you tell us all what were the sorts of things that you did during the retreats, Annie?
Yes, we offer 4 different kinds of therapy for our kids, and they are all, well, they're art therapy, music therapy, horse therapy, and water therapy. And we keep all of our therapies play-based and 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. And we, throughout the children's days, the families come for a week. Throughout the children's days, they are in a camp-like environment. We keep it very fun and sensory friendly. And they are with an angel guide. So they have a person with them throughout the whole week. 24/7. Well, not quite 24/7, but for about 8 hours of the day, all 5 days, they're with their one person, and that person stays with them, takes them to their different therapies, is with them if they want to go play or do something, go in the water, do something a little different. We also, while the kids are experiencing that, we put on a retreat-like experience for the parents. We have a sauna, a pool, and hot tub. We bring a massage therapist up, and we also put on different meditations and workshops and yoga for the parents. Our land itself is a nature preserve, so it allows for a lot of quiet stillness for parents to take a walk and just be with themselves. We have our native spring creek running through our land. That is also a beautiful blessing for parents to be in, for the kids to be able to get into crystal clear water and regenerate their body that way. We also have the hot springs nearby where we take the kids as a big group so they get to experience that beautiful water. And then there's also the option for parents and families to go on their own and, you know, have a night away as a couple or, you know, get some alone time if that is what they're wanting and needing as well. And then we have the nutrition aspect of it as well offered at the retreat. So we offer all 3 meals a day for 6 days, all organic, whole food, beautiful, love cooked meals. And we offer the nutrition protocol that we offer for our kids on the spectrum. We give those products and start that protocol with the children while they're here.
Prior to arrival.
And we also begin it prior to arrival. And then part of that offering as well is once you go home, we're your team. We're in this together. So if you have questions about your diet, you have questions about your meals or what to cook or this, you can call us, email us at any time. We're also there to provide behavioral support in routines and, you know, how my kid is like totally not able to go to sleep at night. What can I alter in my nighttime routine? Or Jimmy keeps shoving sticks into his nose. How can I do this? You know, like whatever it is, we're there for you. You know, we are family. Once you come here and start working with us, we're all together. And so we're going to start trying to make that a little bit more online, but that so far is what we are offering here at the Oasis retreats. And we plan to expand on that. You know, as more healing therapies are offered, we're trying to bring all the best healing therapies here so that that families can experience them and know what works for your child. Not everything, there's no like one cure for all with autism. Not that there's a cure. There's no like one thing works for everybody. So we believe that each person needs to find which combination of therapies at what times will help them the most. So if we can have all the therapies here, you can test out which ones are the most receptive for your family and your child.
Beautiful. Wow. Beautiful.
Which I just wanted to add to that you know, sometimes the words that we use are not yet refined and as politically correct as they should be, because we use the word heal, but we don't really mean heal any more than when I say, you know, I need a emotional healing or a spiritual healing. The healing we're talking about has more to do with the disruptions that have happened within the family and the inability of somebody emotionally to connect with the world in which they were born into. Okay, because we believe that the amazing, unique gifts of, there's no doubt I am, you know, so many autistic qualities when I learned what they were. And I look back at my childhood, there's no doubt that I was high functioning autistic, you know? And so what we want to make clear is that we're not out to cure anybody, because we don't think that anybody is sick. Okay. But what we are out to do is to help you learn balance. It's a little bit like, you know, learning to ride a skateboard, learning to ski, learning to dance, you know, learning to do yoga. And at some point, you know, you're going to be able to do advanced type of positions, you know, lotus and such, you know, that you may not be able to do at the beginning. And so I'm just saying that the mind is the same way. And so we want to find the pathways and to regulate and to help them to regulate their interactions, reactions, and the way they process information so that they could better survive in the world they were born into. But at the same time, we are trying to create a world, an environment, a society that understands them more, that receives them better. And we're seeing that happen more and more as well. So, you know, meet me in the middle type of approach, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, what a blessing, Dave. What an amazing offering to these families. I'm excited for the retreats to begin again. So I'm sure we've got quite a few people here, and I'd like to open up the lines for those of you who are interested in asking questions of Annie or Dave or making a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, okay, so this is where it gets tricky. um, we're gonna have to ask people to raise their hands, I believe, right, ladies? Because we had a breach a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So in order to raise your hand, okay, help me out, you guys. Hang on now.
Lucy has her hand raised, and we could unmute her.
Who does? Carmela?
Lucy.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead if you see her, Carmela, and unmute her.
Okay, go ahead, Lucy.
Unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh my gosh, sorry. My heart beats very high right now. And first of all, thank you again, all of you ladies and gentlemen, for being here. And thank you, Dave and Annie and Cornelia, for being here also and sharing this beautiful, beautiful journey. I'm exactly in the situation and I'm going to be maybe crying a little bit, but I'm exactly in the situation as Dave and Annie been describing, and last, whenever the school stops and all the services kind of stop, it's been very, very challenging. And I think the main thing, as at least as a parent of special needs child, I see, as you guys been all mentioning, the parent support. I'm very fortunate in one way that I have this amazing Purim community and these amazing products and some other tools I use on a daily basis. But the separations of us from the other world or the reality here got even bigger. So I just want to really, really thank you, Annie and Dave, that even after everything is happening, that you're still bringing Awaken Project to the light. And I hope even it will be online, this incredible support, but I'm really, really thankful for that. So please, whoever can help, because that's been also always my vision. I live on Kauai, where there's no support. There is no support in this little island, and it's been very, very challenging. So please, whatever you can do, any kind of meetings for us as parents, that would be wonderful. Just to listen to each other and support each other and nourish each other and sharing about incredible nutrition. So mahalo and
We
thank
love
you
you so
everybody.
much, Lucy. Thank you. We love you.
Thank
And
you.
we hear you and we see you. And yes.
Thank you, Lucy, for sharing. So much love, sweetie.
We love you.
We're going to do what we could do. Okay, let's make that happen.
Thank you for raising your voice. Yeah, go ahead, Carmela.
Yeah, Lucy, I really love hearing your voice in this community. You are a parent with child of special needs, and we need your voice. We need leadership with this particular community. I worked in as a lifestyle specialist for adults with autism for 4 years now, and I really believe they need the support, and you are one of them who are active in the community. We see you. We need more of you. So your voice actually is really relevant. Thank you so much for showing up constantly, and yeah, we will do whatever we can to serve. I do see Sarah Reinland also.
It's Rachel.
Rachel. Good.
Logged in as my beloved Sarah. And oh my God, my heart, I just feel my tears coming for you, Lucy. I love you so much. And Kaiwi, he's such a sweetheart. And my heart goes out to you. And thank you so much for sharing. And this really makes me want to figure out how to have more outreach just in general as a company, just in general, like how to help more people with these products and how can we use this platform. And I'm like thinking of like, who can we share this video with? Like, how can we share this video with as many people as possible and really make Awaken more known. And I wanted to offer this idea that, I mean, maybe I should say this on the crown board, but I just can't help it. I've seen there's another company that has a similar kind of like a nonprofit for children of special needs, and they have on their website a little like actually when people shop, they can add on, like it's just always an option. It's like and donate to this organization, which is their parent, which is like part of their company, but it's also their nonprofit. And so that
We
it's
have
always, yeah.
We have some things like that in the work. We can't say too many commitments right now,
Okay.
but we love that vision, and we're working towards things just like that. And we're so grateful
Yay!
for bringing that up.
Okay, good. I just had to say, hi, Karina. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jan Sabo, and I'm new at this meeting. Yet I was with Purium years ago, not as focused.
Welcome.
Thank you. Not as focused as I am now, and your beautiful family is just so beautiful to see and hear. I'm so grateful to be here. I am a vocal and music educator for children and for adults, but during COVID, it seems like all the adults just say no and all the children say yes. All the parents for the children say yes. So, and I've worked primarily, if I work in a school, it's always been in a home school or a Waldorf situation, because I create my own programs, and I have for years if I'm asked to work in a private school. So with that being said, I also have studied about 10 levels of acutonics with the acutonics community from the mothership down in New Mexico with, and I work with sound healing. The reason why I have is because music and vocal coaching and singing has gotten me into, I've always been a student of sound healing, because it's the science of singing, it's the science of music. So vibrational medicine is the key in opening up all of our worlds to the natural world, being more in our body and being more in touch with the universe. And so with that being said, I have, for some odd reason, parents have brought their children either have Down syndrome and now autism to me to be the guide. And as a result, I see the results. And I see different things of non-speaking young lady, Sophie, who has, through her singing lessons online, is now being able to speak a lot more. Her mother doesn't give up coming to the sessions, and I've been quite surprised and humble about it, just waiting to see if they're sign up for more sessions, because I'm hoping that this is helping. And and it's also helping her sing in tune, where she couldn't only stay on a monotone. Okay, so my interest is that when my hope and my prayer, now I'm very excited, as you can hear, I feel so passionate about this, I can hardly sit on my seat here. So I'd like to offer either talks, when you have your conclaves happening, that I can offer the benefit of sound healing. Also have worked with the Edgar Casey community in Seattle, in the sense that they wanted to know what my work, and I was also stunned. Then again, a musician had me set up to do that. So that was fascinating as well. It is a new modality, the sound healing, but I'm also working with singing bowls, but just the talk and about how it's affecting the autistic community and the parents. To the parents would be great. And also, if you needed sessions online, I've been teaching online for years, and also with this autistic child. So I'm open to creating a program if you wanted a small thing, if you wanted to okay it or that kind of thing for a group perhaps, or one-on-one autistic children. Just so you know, free, I'm interested, I want to offer it. It would be a huge blessing in my life, either of those things.
Well, thank you so much. And we know that we'll be able to get in touch. I know that the ladies are going to connect us, and we'll definitely, hopefully speak very, very soon about all of that and more. Okay.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. You're a beautiful angel and we appreciate you.
Ditto, thank you.
Awesome.
I see Ashley Lewis. Unmute you.
Hello, all. So I just joined Purium back in June under Lauren Wells, and I'm mentored by Sonia. And my son, I'm not going to get emotional about this. I can get through this without crying. My son was diagnosed on the spectrum when he was 2, and now he's 12. And one of the biggest things that really made a difference for us, I never believed in giving medications or anything of any sort. So I automatically leaned toward changing his diet, just removing all additives, all preservatives, nothing but organic foods, removing gluten as much as possible, removing casein, just every last bit of it. And it's actually because of him, I started my own vegan brand, focusing on just bringing healthy and affordable whole food, plant-based meals to families. So not only am I plugged into several organizations here in New York City, I would happily step up and be willing to offer classes, cooking demos or anything of the sort, recipes. I always tell everyone my recipes are picky eater approved because he is like the pickiest of eaters, as most children on the spectrum are. And, many of us on this call know that. So I'm more than happy to get plugged in and offer that up however I can. I've been disseminating Purium to the masses and telling my audience about it. And so I'm more than happy to just kind of get plugged in and help in any way, shape, or form that I could.
Wow, that's actually, that's really incredible that you started something like that. And that is something I'd really like to talk to you about. Tirza and Dave and I have often talked about a meal type of service, so when our families go home, how we can make it a little bit easier on them to supply the right foods for their kids. Because we all know that it's like so hard when your kid is melting down, you've been working all day, there's nothing in the cupboard, but you didn't have time to go to the store. Like, oh my God. So I'd really love to talk to you about that because that's a huge help. Yes, and yes. and congratulations on your beautiful son and helping him. And thank you for being here.
What lovely words are coming from this call. I'm enjoying this hearing. I didn't know that about you, Ashley, but I've been seeing you in this community. So wow, what a wonderful thing you're doing for your community. I see now Katrina Skyweaver's hand up and you are unmuted. Go ahead, Katrina.
Hi. Hi. I talked to Annie last year about this, and I would love to offer my services for cooking or basket weaving. I teach basket weaving, so if it's appropriate to teach it to the parents so they can get some like relaxing Zen things to do, I would be happy to offer that once the Awakening Project becomes active again and is actually doing sessions. So yes, I would love to make that offering.
Thank you for that offering again. And I do remember you. Hello again. And basket weaving sounds like a beautiful meditative project for both children and the parents. And we have reeds growing in our pond that would be amazing to make baskets with. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I love that, Katrina. Thank you for that offering. See, things are coming together on this call. What a productive call. Okay, I see Marissa. Marissa, you can unmute and go ahead.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yes,
can everyone hear me? Okay, awesome. Hi, everyone. I am Marissa. I live in Florida, and I want to just thank Jocelyn for inviting me to this call. And I see you sending a message now. Jocelyn, you're amazing. So I just wanted to share, and I'm going to get through this without crying today, because whenever I talk about my son or my kids, the tears just come flowing through. So I am a twin mama. I have a boy and a girl who are going to be 5 years old in January. And my son was diagnosed with autism when he was 2. And it was right after I got divorced and I moved down to Florida. So it was really, really hard for us. It was a lot of transitioning, but I did everything I could to help him. And then this past year, I had just found out that my daughter was diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety. So we have a lot of different things going on in our house. And I've noticed that through these past years, I was always doing everything I could for them and putting myself last. And when I was putting myself last, I was depleted. I would my attitude, my New York attitude would come through, and I would snap, and I would just really lose my cool. And that's when I started to realize that I needed to start focusing on myself and my own healing and my own trauma throughout just being a strong mother. So with that story, I want to share that it allowed me to find Sistership Circle. And by becoming a Sistership Circle facilitator, not only did I learn how to heal my own traumas and things that were going on in my own life that were really just holding me back from being the best version of myself and the best mother I could be. I met so many amazing women that were also a beautiful mirror for everything that I was going like happening to me. If I was having a bad day with my child, there was another sister in there that was reflecting the same thing, and it made me feel okay to share it. And I really felt supportive because my ex-husband was battling it with me. Our son's not autistic. He was in denial. And I was the mother that was like, I'm proud of who my son is, and whatever he needs, I'm going to help him through it. But I also realized I couldn't help my children through their journey unless I helped myself. So through Sistership Circle, I found that support. I was able to learn how to cry and be vulnerable because I had to be strong for everybody else. And that was probably the hardest thing to do, is to be able to show my own weakness, because I was afraid if I caved, I wouldn't be able to pick all the pieces back up. So now that I am a Sistership Circle facilitator, and I love bringing this circle to everybody and amazing mothers, I would love to offer my healing and my love and my circles to you, and be able to collaborate with you and create a circle for mothers that are strong mamas of children with disabilities. And I do it virtually. I do virtual circles. I do circles in person, and they've just been beautiful, because not only have I been able to help other women feel that support that they may be lacking, I in return felt the support that I was needing also. So we were really holding each other's hands throughout circle and being able to share and heal. So I would love to offer that to you. However you feel that I can be of a support, whether it be virtual or physically at your retreat. I would love to join hands with you.
Thank
However I
you.
can.
Yes,
You're
yes,
welcome.
yes. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being a warrior for your children and taking care of yourself first. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that story, because I know that so many moms need to hear that, and you're opening so much, and you're such a beautiful reflection. And yes, I would love to be in connect. I think we could definitely use your help with putting together mom circles for moms with autism, online as well in person. And yes, so please email me.
I definitely
and for everybody
will.
else that's not seeing the chat or didn't see my last message, for any services that you're wanting to help contribute to the Awaken Project, you can email me. My thing is in the chat, ybannie2289@gmail.com, but I'll post that again within that conversation. But thank you, Macy, so much for your share, for your beautiful heart, and for your offerings for the Awaken Project.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll reach out to you.
Thank you.
Oh, so I didn't connect that. It was you, Marissa.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, hi. It's my first call, so I was happy to get on, and Jocelyn shared it with me. So here I am. I'm so thrilled. This is wonderful.
So anyway, her enroller is a Million Mom Movement recipient, scholarship recipient. So you see how it's rippling. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of where we're going with this. Thank you so much. You're proof of the ripple effect. So I see we have a little bit more time, but we're squeezing in. I see Maisie Anderson. If you could come off mute and share or ask.
Hello.
There you go.
Hi guys. Yeah, I'm not a mom. However, I did just want to share that for 2 years before Miriam came into my life, I was working as a wilderness field guide for young adults, ages like 16 to 20, who are on the spectrum. So I have a lot of experience and a lot of compassion for the families out there who are dealing with this as well in their homes. And one thing that I really recognized was something that really benefited these children was consistency with their meals. And this is also something that we would have, the kids would get their food for their 8 days. Some of these kids are staying in the wilderness for anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. And it's all about encouraging autonomy and like encouraging them and teaching them how to eat consistently and brushing your teeth. And I guess the reason I wanted to mention this was I'm curious if there are ways that we could implement some of these Purium products into these companies that are offering food. And that could be something that maybe, because they're on trail, so we can't really cook a lot of food, but to have like the powders would be amazing. And we gave these kids Gatorade every day, but it was loaded with sugar. I was like, there's got to be a better way to get these kids hydrated. So I'm kind of just brainstorming and throwing some ideas out there. And maybe this is something I can team up with Rachel and talking to these companies so that once the kids leave wilderness, they can we can educate the parents about like the core four and just the benefits of these products. And yeah, I also would love to volunteer my time for the future retreats, as far as like hikes or anything involved with nature. That's my niche, as well as yoga and mindfulness. So I will definitely shoot you an email. And I also just wanted to say for any of the parents who are out there, there is, depending on like your insurance, you can sometimes get government support to put your kids in these summer camps. They do take them as young as, I think, 13, so they could spend their summer in the wilderness and connecting with their self and having a therapist and support. And it's incredible what these kids can accomplish when they, they have the autonomy and they're like, wow, I just like carried my own backpack somewhere and I'm cooking my own meals. So it's really beautiful. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me personally and I can send you information. I don't gain anything from it if you send your kids to these programs, other than knowing they get to connect with themselves and build some autonomy in their life.
Macy, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you brought that up. That is a really amazing program. I love hearing about programs like that. Summer camps actually were one of the catalysts to this dream that Tirza and I had. And it actually brings me, so thank you for sharing that. What a cool, I'd love to maybe collaborate a little bit with the people who help other people who guide those kids and things, because those are you and those type of people running those camps are who we're looking for to come help us run ours. And having meals already set up and everything, I would totally love to collaborate with them and learn from them, have them maybe, all kinds of different collaboration opportunities there, as well as I also bringing Purium into their meals for their programs. And that also brings me to a really, really big point that I didn't share on here is our retreats are free. It's one of the big things. I'm super grateful for government support and helping with camps like that. A lot of the camps when I was living in Sonoma County and the areas that I was living weren't for free, weren't government subsidized, and a lot of help was so expensive. And so one of the big reasons why we've struggled with funding is because our retreats are all free. So I wanted to, again, let that out to everybody who's on here, because a lot of times people hear this and they're like, wow, this is such an amazing thing, but I bet I don't have the money for that. Even on our website where it says our retreats are free, people email me and they'll be like, I don't think I can afford this. How do I get a retreat? Like, it's free for you. So thank you for sharing, Macy, and please email me, because I'd really like to talk to you more about your offerings, collaborating with the camps that you already work with, and figuring out how we can bring Purium to them as well.
And my volunteers are so important.
What?
And my volunteers are so important.
And volunteers are so important. So important. Thank you for volunteering. We're so grateful.
Thank you all so much for your, oh my goodness, wonderful offerings. And it's been a wonderful call. We do have to wrap up. And thank you so much, Annie and Dave, for being here on the call. It was such a precious gift that you're offering the whole community to. This is like a think tank. And I couldn't be more excited when you came on stage and shared that at the end of 2018's convention. I knew this was going far. And I knew this would be exactly, what we needed in our community to educate more. And go ahead.
And there's many people who are asking for Annie's email. Just scroll up because it's been put in several times. So just scroll up and you will see it. And thank you all so very, very much. And thanks for the opportunity to share in this really powerful forum. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, guys. This was a really, really magnificent call. It helped so much, and I'm just so ultra inspired.
Yay. We love you so much, Annie and Dave, and I'm so excited for us to lock arms and work more closely together. I will be in touch with you. All right. Much love to you all. Thanks for being with us for Fierce Friday. Carmela, next week.
Yes, next week we have Carrie Drinkwine on for Business Forward Fierce Friday. So stay tuned. Always put it on to your calendar and share it, right? Especially the recipients who are in our scholarship, please attend. And make sure if you are a Diamond sponsor, please make sure you're attending with them. We do need them to have their hand held. And we will see you on social media. See you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your weekends. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.